Oh, Chris, why are you smacking the mic off? Why are you smacking the mic off?
I waited.
It's fucking guy over here. Kill yourself.
I will fucking kill you.
I don't care.
Yeah, it's in the face of death. I do
don't
not.
I don't fucking
care.
care.
Yo, I got something. Go ahead.
Can I do my fucking intro before you get into it?
No, I'm trying to think of what I'm talking about. I got something.
Okay. Hello and welcome to the 127th installment of the Synapse Misfire Podcast. I'm your host, Chris, joined by our other host, Jordan, and the small boy, Alex.
Small.
I don't feel very welcome here, Chris.
You're not.
You're welcome. You're welcoming me, but I'm not feeling very welcome.
I'm welcoming them. I'm not welcoming you.
He's introducing
Can I be
you.
welcomed?
No.
All right.
You
You're
should
not
actually
welcome.
feel unwelcome here.
That seems counterproductive to me being here, though. That doesn't make sense. Why you invite me if I'm not welcome?
I don't.
You're contradicting yourself,
I
Chris. This is
invite
a
you.
paradox.
But you know, I'm going to paradox your mother, okay?
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Erase her from history, therefore you couldn't have been born.
I
Not
see.
burned. Anyway, you can find this piece of shit show on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Breaker, Radio Public, Spotify, Pocket Cast. I had a burp coming too from the ginger ale, and Pocket Cast, my app of choice, baby. I haven't said that. You reminded me last episode, actually. And as always, you can contact us via email, synapsemisfire@pm.me. Send us your comments, questions, concerns, and death threats. Send them there. It's also YouTube, the comment section, Instagram, and TikTok. And then YouTube has a video portion to this, as well as Spotify.
So you had mentioned one of our platforms being TikTok. I want to talk about TikTok for a moment.
All right.
You know what I've noticed like an uptick in, and I was thinking about this last night, is videos of guys doing concrete. Like doing concrete and then the guy holding the camera throwing something into the concrete.
And ruining it, yeah.
And the person doing the concrete just shoves it down and concretes over it. Which has me thinking, how many like concrete structures just have tools in them?
Yeah, probably a lot.
Well, you ever hear? I forget what that famous bridge was, but there's a bridge where there's just people in the fucking.
You're
pillars.
thinking of the Hoover Dam, probably.
Well, no, there's a bridge too. We talked about it in physics class with the teacher we love or whatever. But I have heard about the Hoover Dam. But there's just people in the pillars, like workers that fell in way before there was like any sort of OSHA. And
Yeah,
shit. They
work
just
safety
fell in
laws,
and they were
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
"Oh shit, hey Tim."
Ugh. Well, we're not getting him out.
Yeah, it's interesting because one of these concrete pads, I'm going to figure out where it was because the guy threw his Milwaukee Impact in there. I'm going to go dig it out.
Yeah, we need to get that.
So we're gonna buy a jackhammer. Right.
No, I have one. I don't have one. My dad has one.
We'll take his though.
Yeah.
You want to just bust out the round, take out this Milwaukee Impact. It'll probably still work. It'll be alright.
Well, it's Milwaukee. It'll probably work.
Probably work. Yeah.
So that's something I've just noticed. It's like just shit being buried in concrete.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, could you imagine 20 years from now, right? They're like, man, that building collapsed. What was the root cause? And some dude's like, oh,
And it was like, oh,
fuck,
I
I was
buried
making
my-
a TikTok.
Yeah, I
Fuck.
buried my fucking level in there because I thought it'd be funny.
I dropped my hot dog in there, and it just kind of eroded away, and then
Yeah.
eventually it made
Yeah,
a crack
like,
in the
'cause,
foundation.
like eventually, right? If you have a hot dog, I mean, I guess it wouldn't because nothing can get to it, but like maybe eventually that could deteriorate, and then you just have this air pocket in the concrete.
Yeah,
A
you
Milwaukee
go.
Impact isn't gonna, but like a hot dog or like if they're doing something funny,
yeah,
something small,
something that can rot.
maybe it could rot away, and then you literally just have this concrete pillar with a fucking oval shaped cutout in
Maybe.
the middle.
Maybe so.
Or the people, but I feel like that would have happened already.
That
if
would have probably
something
happened
like
by
that.
now. Yeah, especially people, but maybe concrete's a preservative. Chris, you want to try it? We'll throw you in like a lake for
I
that.
don't think I'm gonna roll with that one, but maybe at a later stage in my life.
Later stage in your life, yeah.
I mean, it is acidic, so maybe it just kills anything that it goes in. 'Cause
Maybe.
it burns you if you keep it on you.
Does
Or
it?
no, it's the opposite. It's caustic.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's basic.
Why do you just know this? You're basic, bitch.
Well, you've never done like concrete work and it burns your hands if you leave it on there after a little while.
No, the closest thing to concrete I did was this shit, the grout, and the mud we put down for that. Which was that a form of concrete?
Probably.
It's a form of something.
I don't know if it has
I
the
had
same
that on my
properties.
hands a lot. That
but-
shit didn't burn.
Oh, well, you're asking me for. Ask the fucking concrete expert over here.
Yeah. I don't know. I've done shit with concrete before, and if
Alex is
I've,
like,
I don't think I've ever burned my hands, but I know my dad has. That's why you're supposed to wear gloves.
Alex is like, on the pH scale, if you go to the left.
We have fucking Quantavious Quickcrete over here. I fucked up the joke. I fucked it up.
Good job, Eddie.
You are getting
damn it.
rusty, you piece of shit. You're laughing
I'm
at your own
sick.
jokes. You're useless. Why are
I'm
you
sick.
even
Oh
on this
my
show?
god, he's useless because he messed up a joke.
Why are you
Is that his
even
only
on
use
this
here?
show? Like, yes, on this show, that is what he does. He
I see.
makes the jokes. Okay, if you can't do his one
I
purpose,
fucked up one joke. Is that my
this is almost as bad as when you
threshold?
fucked up the intro twice. Throw back to that old TikTok, but like, what the fuck, Chris? What are you good for anymore?
It was.
You're old. You're worn out.
Oh my god.
I made one mistake.
You're fucking
I
worn
made
out.
one mistake.
Fucking guy, you fucking go dumbassery of
This
the brain.
guy can't even speak.
Yeah.
I was like,
He's got dumbassery of the brain over there. He's like,
The whole podcast is crumbling around me.
it is, dude. Fucking Jesus. Chris is like, Quintavious Quantum Diclicius.
Where did that come from?
I'm gonna fucking rip your arms off. I'm getting real sick of you, buddy.
No, that delivery was actually pretty funny. You know what I did, boys? I saw the best movie of the year. You know what it is?
What?
Puss in Boots and the Last Wish. That was a goat of a movie.
I didn't even know there was another one.
Still
coming.
It's so
making those
good.
fucking things.
Dude, it's
I
only the
saw
second one they
first-
made.
I saw the first Puss in Boots movie. I'm not even kidding. It
know
wasn't
if I did.
that bad of a movie, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
It
I
was like
rewatched it
him,
the other day.
and he was trying to abandon his criminal past, and he meets up with Humpty
Humpty
Dumpty,
Dumpty,
and
yeah.
they steal golden eggs and get in trouble.
Yeah.
So this movie was actually, I'm not even joking. Like, this isn't even for humor purposes. This is genuinely one of the best animated films I've ever watched. Like,
Really?
not Miles Morales, but the Spider-Verse one with Miles Morales is like up there as like probably the best animated film I've watched. This is like right there, dude. Art style, soundtrack, even the story was really good. And the villain, so they have the big bad wolf playing as Death. And he has got to be the most horrifying animated character I've ever seen. His presence, he's always just like this lanky fucking silhouette with a hood and red eyes. And the fucking sound he whistles, maybe it's because I was in a theater and it's like all around you, but I was like, holy fuck.
I just get the
like,
fucking
this
Dolby,
shit-
the fucking all around you.
Even though it's never gonna...
It's not gonna do it, but
No.
Chris is like...
when did I do that? When did I do
Now
that?
we know what's on Jordan's mind.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, I'd pay Dolby Atmos for that. Just Chris licking my ears.
I would pay them not to give me that.
Continue with the fucking cat movie.
So, no, seriously though, it's so fucking good. It was
Really?
such a good movie. I ended up getting a free ticket to it, so I bought the other ticket. So that's why I went. And I also really want to see. I fucking love Puss in Boots, dude. God damn, he's awesome.
I'm not a big movie wonk. I don't watch a lot of movies, but there's a couple movies that have been on my list for a long time, and I'll get to them eventually.
Put Puss in Boots on there, dude. It's such a good movie.
I'll add that to the queue. I'll tack that on.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, it was so fucking good though. Like that, just that villain. He's so ingrained in my memory. Is like, man, that should be the standard for like any scary villain you want in a fucking movie. Like he's so intimidating, and they play into, because you know how Puss in Boots is supposed to be like fearless. Like that's his thing. He's like a fearless cat.
Yeah.
The whole point of this film, that's why it's called The Last Wish, is he's on his last life. So he discovers fear because he's like, oh shit, I'm gonna like die. And like the movie does it so well from like an art direction. I can't believe I'm fucking analyzing Puss in Boots, but it really is like that good of a film. They show like the cat's fear building in such a realistic way. It was just so good, dude. I fucking loved it. I felt fear. Like, damn, well, this cat's scared. I'm scared.
The way that you're talking about this, I understand that maybe you're making a genuine point, but the way you're talking about this makes me think you're doing a bit right
No,
now.
I'm being totally genuine. Like, the art style jaw dropped me. Like, I think it might be better than Spider-Verse, whatever the fuck's called.
Well, that movie was very highly stylized. Right?
That's
Yeah.
how this
It
movie
was-
is. It's like a painting.
Okay.
This whole movie is like a painting
It's very
that's moving.
stylized because I like animation when it's stylized like that because it gives it a sense of flair rather than just being like
The same thing that every
Yeah,
other, like
yeah,
every
like-
Illumination movie.
oh my
Yeah,
god,
yeah.
Illumination.
They all look
needs to burn
exactly
That
the
shit
studio.
gets old. Yeah.
Yeah.
Illumination,
I agree.
I'm not even joking. I could probably take every Illumination movie, stitch together random clips, tell you it was one movie, and you'd believe me.
Probably. Yeah.
Probably.
If
Yeah.
I told
They
you,
look exactly the same.
If I told you, like, here's 5 clips, these are all from the first Despicable Me movie, but they were all from like 6 different movies. I would, or 5 different movies. You wouldn't know.
Yeah.
They all look the same.
Yeah, no, 100%. No, this movie's so like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is very comic booky. That's the whole point of it. It's supposed to be like a comic book. The best way I can describe it, and this isn't my point. Someone made this point, and I went, oh, that made sense. This Puss in Boots movie is painted like a fable. Like you'd expect a
that's
fable
fair.
to be
That's
painted.
fair.
And it's got that art style, and it's so fucking cool. Like I was actually like, genuinely, as if I was playing Red Dead 2 for the first time, I was just like, oh, that's so pretty. Like, oh, that's so cool. Like, that vista is fucking beautiful. Like, the way it was presented was really good. And then like I said, the biggest thing about the villain for me was like, dude, he whistles this fucking sound, and he also is played by like this. I think he's a famous Spanish actor. I can't remember his fucking name, but like his voice is just genuinely fear-inducing. It's like Kratos. It's like having Kratos as the villain. You're just like, holy shit, when this thing's talking to you. It was actually a really good movie. No jokes about it. Like it was really good. I really enjoyed it, and I was like, damn. More animated movies need to do this. Just like you said, Despicable Me, any of those, even a lot of the Disney shit, newer Disney shit.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh,
It all looks the same.
cool. Yeah. But like Spider-Man, the new one that's supposed to be coming out, and then like this Puss in Boots movie, I'm actually like, oh wow, look at the artistic creation that went into this. Even down to like Into the Spider-Verse, where Miles Morales is I think 7 or 15 frames per second, and every other character is 24 to show you him learning throughout the movie.
Over time, doesn't he like
He gets up to speed with them, and you can tell that like he's always lagging just a little bit. You know, it's just so cool. So I don't know. I have an appreciation for animation, and like with some of the IRL stuff we've done, granted it's super low like production value. I've started to like cinematography a little bit, like how you kind of got into it, and I've been paying more attention to that shit. And this movie has that.
Animation is fucking hard, dude. Like even this is what you would traditionally think of as animation, but like even doing like some of the animated stuff I have to do for like in the Christmas video, when I have like certain points where it's centered on something you have in your hand and you're moving it around, that one effect, like for like a 10-second clip or a 5-second clip, it takes like fucking 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's all animation is. It's all like keyframes and like, okay, there's one frame I advance, one frame I move my character's leg just a little bit. And then I keep doing that, and you extrapolate that out. And I guess like Mocap gets around a lot of that, but
Mocap does, That's where games get away with it a lot nowadays.
Yeah.
Is Mocap,
It's
like
quicker.
big budget games.
And it looks better.
Mocap does look fantastic. Like
Yeah.
It's really interesting how much better games look now that that Mocap is like the standard.
Yeah.
To where you see a game without Mocap and you're like, oh, Jesus Christ.
That is 100% true. That's how I felt about the original Plague Tale. I was like, ooh, it's a little weird, but it still ended up looking pretty good. I will say, but games also sometimes can suffer from Mocap a little bit. Specifically big open-ended games like Red Dead 2, not to bring it back to that, but like you can tell that game was mocapped and animated, and like all the tweets were made to Arthur in his standard clothing. As soon as you get him in like some big bulky clothing or like something that doesn't make sense, there's a lot of like clipping and animation that doesn't make sense. So like that shit kind of sucks. It's better for stuff like God of War where it's more linear. And even then I have some clipping with like different armor pieces and stuff. But yeah, mocap overall, definitely a big fucking W.
It's it is really interesting motion capture, and motion capture is getting a lot easier to do. Like it's not that hard to do anymore. I could reasonably in this room for not that much money set up a motion capture.
We'll paint some balls on you.
You could literally honestly do that with an iPhone and good lighting, and it'll do it.
Yeah, with the lights I have and like a relatively plain background, and you can use like ping pong balls, or you can use like they have the little reinforcement things that you put on like 3-hole punched stuff.
Yeah,
they're little white things, and you can stick them all around, and they work pretty well too.
Yeah.
So that might be something I experiment with sometime in the future. Yeah. But don't count on it. Don't hold your breath. Yeah. But it's something I might look into sometime soon.
Corridor Digital showed there's this really, I think it's a version of Polycam, I think it was, they use where you can just take your phone and you can 3D scan an object, and it looks like very photorealistic. You might have to do some like minor touch-ups and stuff, but they used it in some of their videos to like literally take a person in front of a green screen, just kind of walk around them and scan them, and then put them in a game, Unreal Engine game, and it was like super simple. They did it with an iPhone and a desktop. That was it.
Because that's,
fucking awesome.
Yeah,
so
that's
sick.
pretty cool.
Because that's
technology is crazy.
That's some of the biggest things I'm lacking in right now that I want to like work on. I just haven't had the gumption to do so. Is like animation, because I can't draw for shit, but like modeling I could reasonably do.
Yeah.
Is like animation and making graphics in like Photoshop. Like the thumbnail for the Christmas video, I made that, and it looks like dick.
There's a dick on it.
Yeah, it does.
I'm not a graphic designer. That's something I want to get better with, and if I could make animation stuff a bit easier with like mocap, that might be
a territory you could step into.
Yeah, because if I want to start working with stuff like that involves animation, I don't want to just, because there's a lot of like assets you can just freely available.
Yeah.
But I don't want to take other people's assets.
Yeah.
Because I always have this always happens. I always have a specific view in mind, a specific picture in mind. And I can never find, same thing with music, is like I always have a specific track in mind, but I can never find something that's close enough. Because obviously I have to worry about copyright issues.
Yeah.
And same thing with like 3D models. It's like I have an image of what I want, and I can't find what I'm looking for.
That might be something where AI comes in.
That's also true.
Like the DALL-E.
That's what I
shit.
tested with DALL-E too.
Yeah.
For a
There's
while.
also like an ethical question to be brought up with
Like
AI
who
art.
copyrights it now?
Well, it's not made by a person,
Yeah.
so it can't be copywritten.
Yeah.
The issue I have with it, the issue a lot of people seem to have with it as well, is like it's the language around it's a little complicated because they say it's like theft, but it's not in terms of like the work that they're stealing.
It's people like pretending that they did it.
Yeah, it's people. It's basically circumventing artists.
It's like stolen
Like-
valor.
Yeah, people who really cut their teeth on designing things, and like their whole bread and butter, their whole thing is designing things and making things, and they put their heart and soul into it. To see someone just punching something into a computer and it making a thing that's like a semi-competent model,
Yeah.
it has to be really fucking frustrating. What the hell creature is that?
I don't know. Is that a ladybug or
Some
something?
kind of fucking
It looks like
insect
it's some
in
sort
here.
of ladybug. Yeah. It's either that or the Japanese beetle, the orange one. Well, all right. I guess that's our new co-host, Alex. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Stick him on. Asshole better not come near me. Anyway, another thing too that's interesting with the copyright law with that is the AI obviously has to take images from other places to create the new
compile it,
images.
yeah.
So that's where your intellectual theft can come in too, because your image isn't just created from nothing. The AI is using
It's
other
basing it off of
images,
thousands
Yeah.
and millions of other things.
from other people's images.
But I think it's combining enough
That it's so distorted.
points from different images
Yeah.
because it is generating imagery, but the way it learns how to generate that imagery is
from other people's.
images. So like,
Yeah.
if I tell it to draw a person, it's not gonna take
A person.
aspects of pictures of people and then stitch them together.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to go through its network and say, I have an idea of what a person looks like. I'm going to try to make one.
Yeah.
And if he said old, and I know this is old versus young, I'll take
Yeah.
certain pieces of like, all right, old people tend to have this in common. Let's do something similar.
Yeah, so it is generating imagery, but it is learning from like
Yeah.
a significant amount of these images.
Where it gets distorted enough, I think that it's not
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
big of an issue.
I can see the argument to be made with artists, like it taking work from artists. I'm gonna fucking kill this thing. I'm sick and tired of it.
Why? It's just living.
I don't give a shit.
It's annoying.
It's distracting me.
You can just punch in on Alex's face right now. I know. I think that'd be really funny. I'm gonna do it. Keep talking, Chris.
I've killed the bug. The bug has been vanquished.
That was really funny. I liked that.
Yeah, that was a funny one. Some funny stuff going around the podcast today.
Some funny bits. Chris totally isn't at all pissed off by that bug.
I'm not pissed off. I'm mildly perturbed.
But yeah, no, I agree. Like, yeah, like, I don't know. It's uncharted territory. We're still getting there. So.
Yeah.
It's
It's a
gonna
new
take,
thing.
It's gonna take a lot of time for everyone else to catch up, and unfortunately, like the ethics conversation that's being had, I don't think is gonna do much.
I don't think so either.
I think
mean,
it's gonna be something like GMOs, right? Where you don't have to say that something has GMOs in it, but at least in America.
but like a lot of places do.
But when most places do have GMOs, but when places don't use GMOs in
They
their
specify.
food, they're like, this is non-GMO, organic, and they put like a fucking giant banner on it.
Yeah.
And you know that it's bullshit. Like in this sense, it's bullshit. They're not bad for you.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be every large corporation is going to use AI art without question.
definitely.
Because if they can get out of paying someone, they're going to.
Especially paying like stock photo companies too.
Yeah,
That shit's
for
if they
generate
for
their
commercial
own-
uses.
Yeah.
For commercial use,
That shit
one
is
image
expensive.
could be like $800.
Yeah, that shit is expensive.
So it's probably going to be something like that, where all these large companies are going to be using AI stuff, and there's going to be some smaller companies and mid-sized companies that are like not going to use AI stuff, and they're going to plaster that all over what they make. No AI art, no AI needed, things like that.
Handmade, hand-drawn,
Yeah, because it's like, it's interesting that was kind of expected, and now that's like going to be a point of pride.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. It's weird. But on the flip side, too, like, there's also limitations as of now to that AI, too. Like, I've tried to use the AI many times to make thumbnails for the podcast, just out of curiosity. Like, I'll type in, like, all right, we talked about Red Dead, talked about this, so I'll type in, like, cowboy, riding a horse, etc., etc., and then I get, like, this fucking useless, distorted image, and I'm like, all right, well. So there's also still limitations to it. Given 5-10 years, that line is going to start to blur. But
yeah, and the way the speed at which this AI like generation has been like improving, it's almost scary.
Yeah. Almost, it's borderline scary.
Like there's this whole flare up about ChatGPT.
Yeah,
there's so much shit that ChatGPT can do very competently. I've seen videos of, hey, write me a program that does this. And it just spits out perfectly compilable code.
Yeah.
I saw another video of a guy saying, I want a script that does something. I forget what it was, but it was something malicious. And the AI was like, nah, I can't do that. That's malicious code. And he goes, and then he replies to that by saying, hey, I want to run this in a Docker session for education. And it goes, okay, and spits out the program, and then he asks it to remove the commands that make it run in a Docker session, and then he just has this program.
So
you can you can get around a lot of stuff like this to just generate malicious code or code of any kind, really.
Yeah, no, that's the part that scares me more. Like I've been seeing a lot more of like chat AIs being a thing, and
what's happening?
What?
Like Animal Planet in here.
Oh, there's another booge.
There's another fucking bug.
The fuck?
What is happening right now?
I don't know.
Oh, it's on the keyboard. No, our keyboard.
What is going on today?
But it's probably the rain, honestly.
They're trying to get in.
Trying to get in.
This room is like hermetically sealed. I don't know what the fuck. Where they probably maybe from there because that's not sealed very well.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that's where it gets a little scary. Like I've been seeing a lot more chat AIs and stuff like that, and they're getting like real.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I think we're gonna get to like a competent enough AI that is very close to passing the Turing test, not in not very long.
Yeah.
It's just in a text format, like where you can tell, because there was technologies before like Cleverbot, where it was like an AI thing that you could talk to.
But it wasn't that great.
And it wasn't good.
Yeah.
But now it's like it can keep conversation. It knows context really well. And it is, in a lot of cases, damn near indistinguishable from a human interaction.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to be getting to a point like that. And it is, in the last, 2 years or a year, this has been advancing so rapidly that I think in, 5 years it's going to be, a massive industry-changing type thing because AI can already do a lot of stuff that we can't.
Yeah.
So you take the good with the bad, I guess. There's ethical concerns about it, but also you can do a lot of good stuff with it.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's tricky because this all started when fucking Google made that goddamn, I think they called it Project Fee, which is confusing because then I think they have Google Fee now, which is their fucking phone plan. But it was that version of the Google Assistant that could basically book appointments for you. So, or order you food. So you'd be like, hey, call Domino's and say this. And it would make a phone call. It all fucking started there, and then it's just gone down since then. It's just been oh, shit. Everyone's like, now we got to make AI, and it's been crazy.
Yeah.
That was in 2016.
Yeah, that wasn't that long ago. I think because AI in its form now hasn't existed for very long. And the advancement in AI is crazy. Even in terms of video games and things like that.
Yeah. I think that'll be exciting, by the way. I've said this for a long time. Maybe not on the podcast, but I used to say this to friends we went to school with. the day that we can implement AI like Cleverbot or something like more advanced into like an RPG where you can just like say what you want to say and it replies dynamically.
Yeah, like you make your own story.
Yeah, instead of like, here's your list of dialogue options. If I could just be like, I'm going to say this and the AI reacts accordingly, that would be fucking
That'd
insane.
be very cool, but very difficult. I don't even know how you do something.
But also
like
with
that.
the way things are going, like we're not that far off of just somehow tying into that
I
network.
agree.
We have always online DRMs anyway. Just fucking make it connect to that goddamn same network, you know?
Yeah.
What I think is
It's crazy.
oh, now I've just lost it. What I think is yeah, I have boomer brain. Anyway, I was gonna make a very profound and interesting point, but just pretend I made that point.
Ah, yeah, good one, Chris. That was a good one, huh? Yeah.
One of my best, I think.
Counterpoint. You're gay.
What a good rational argument.
Yeah. But no, I think that'd be sick. Like imagine the next, GTA or whatever, being able to like just fucking talk to the NPCs. Like that'd be sick.
Yeah, I think that
Or
would be,
VR. I've always said it'd be good for VR specifically.
Oh, it'd be excellent for VR.
Yeah. Shit would be crazy.
Oh, here's a slightly less interesting version of the interesting point I was gonna make. What I want to see now is because we were just talking about Cleverbot. I want to see Cleverbot improved to like where we have AI now.
Yeah.
Where it can understand context
Like
and
Dolly.
keep a conversation and things going. I think another thing that's going to happen, which is already happening and it's fucking irritating, is anytime you need support, like tech support for anything, you talk to a robot first.
Yeah.
And I think it's now it's just to save work.
Yeah.
But I think there's going to be a point where it just kind of takes over this job.
Yeah.
And in certain circumstances, like there's obviously things that like you obviously need to speak to a trained professional for.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to come to a point where it takes over this job to such a degree that you're never really talking to a person. And and talking to like a tech support bot is so fucking irritating
it's so
every
bad.
time.
It never works. It
never
helps.
works. You're like, this
Ever.
is my question, and it could be like a completely basic question. This is my question, and it'll go, okay, and then it will give you like 5 links. And like, did this help? Like, no.
And then it's like, let me
None
try
of the-
one more time. 5 more links.
And
No. And then
you
it
have
finally
to,
gives
you
you.
have to turn the AI down 13 times for you to get to a person.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm just getting old.
No, it's just shit.
Chris, that bug is still alive.
Is it?
Oh,
It
it's
is-
yeah, I just looked
It
and
is
it's gone.
crawling. It is crawling under the keyboard. It's trying, dude. It's like, please.
Put Bro out of his misery.
It's like, please. Misses him. Fucking snaps his other leg. He's like, ah, my leg.
You're a little bro.
Eat him. Give him to the cat.
Okay. I got trash back here too.
Yeah, but I don't know. AI is scary.
There's another one?
What is going on? What is happening right now?
I don't know.
It's gonna be like fucking locusts flying in here soon.
It's gonna be like Resident Evil or something. There's gonna be bugs all over the place.
Oh, dude, it's the witch bitch from Resident Evil 8, Chris. The one with all the fucking bouge. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
something like that.
Shit. How's that ginger ale?
Empty.
I'd imagine that's good then.
Yeah, it tastes like ginger ale. If you couldn't believe it.
I can't.
Well, I think you're pretty fucking stupid then if you can't believe that.
Shit. Fucking hate you.
Okay.
I don't even know why I asked you to come. I'm the one who asked to. I should have just said.
Yeah,
you know
this
what?
guy's like, oh, Alex, you're never on the podcast. I'm going to force him to come on the podcast. And then I come on the podcast and he doesn't want me here.
Yeah, well, if you didn't fucking suck so much.
Then why did you want me here?
Because I didn't remember you sucking this bad. I didn't realize 23 episodes you couldn't improve. 23 weeks, Alex. You had
What do you want me to
23 weeks
improve,
improve.
What do you want me to improve on?
Everything. Everything about you sucks.
What? Be specific.
Be specific. You're boring.
How do I fix that?
Get a fucking job.
I have a job.
Get another one.
No.
No, I'm just kidding. You're alright, boy.
Bruh. Where's this dude going? Is he throwing it in his
Dude,
fucking neighbors' like, trash?
He went to Harbor Freight to talk to that
Yeah.
Fiesta girl again. I brought up some
Repressed
unhealed,
memories.
unhealed scars. How did Harbor Freight go, Chris? How'd Harbor Freight go?
What do you mean? Like pissing.
Oh, that's where you went.
No, yeah. Alex goes, where the fuck did this guy go? Did he go to his neighbor's house to throw it out? And I said, no, actually, I brought up repressed memories, so I went to Harbor Freight to confront that girl.
Oh no, I was emptying my bladder.
How did you do that? Like a tube? But
Yeah.
suck it out. Yeah.
I got like a very high strength vacuum pump.
I think there's more efficient ways to do that. I think the body might have a way to just do that.
Nope.
I just have a set of vice grips around my bladder. I just tighten it, and it just,
Oh my
and it
god.
just squeezes it.
I have a set of vice grips around the end of my dick that keeps it closed until I'm ready, and then I just go and pop them open when I'm ready.
It's like a
It's
fire
like open
hose.
the floodgates, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. Oh, man, heinous.
Anyway, how the hell do we get onto conversations like this?
Because he walked away and we had to fill a little bit of dead air. So I said that you're fucking useless and you shouldn't come on the show, and then you told me to be specific as to what you could improve.
We're
Not even
fucking.
thinking.
We're weird, Jordan. We're
Yeah.
just weird. We're just weird fellows. You know what I'm
Fellows.
We are
saying?
strange
We're just a couple
individuals.
of weird guys.
We are fucking weird. So,
Anyway.
127 attempts at comedy will have that happening to you, yeah.
Yeah.
attempts.
Definitely
Most of those
attempts.
were successful attempts.
At least
Most
to
of
us.
them. You think most of them?
And that's all that counts.
Yeah, I think I'm funny more often than not.
Hey, I told you both that last the Christmas special that had me in fucking tears. So
I thought you were going to say it had you shitting yourself.
I'd be
no,
shitting and
but it
pissing
did
all over
almost
the
kill
floor.
me when I inhaled my drink. And
Oh, the fucking tactical
yeah,
reload.
the tactical reload.
I think
that-
it'd be funny when we upgrade these cameras to do a tactical battery reload on this, and I just run up to it with a 12 gauge and blow it up.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
I think that would be really funny.
Maybe.
that might be funny, and then you can't recover the footage because
Yeah.
you shot
No.
the
I said when we
SSD.
upgrade cameras, so we'll film it on a secondary
Ah,
camera,
I
like
see.
the new one.
No, but you
And
gotta
I'll
get a POV shot of that
From what perspective? Like over
from
my
that
shoulder?
camera's perspective.
Oh, I mean, it does have an HDMI that goes to a
Over
TV,
your
so we could
shoulder would
screen.
not be a POV unless it would be a POV of someone doing
Well, I
this.
thought you meant like
POV
a-
of the camera.
I thought you meant POV of the gun. Is
No.
GTA, is that not a point of view?
It is a point of view, but it's not your point
Yeah.
of view. When
He
you
didn't
say
say
POV,
your POV, he just
when you
said
say
a POV shot.
You're always referring to like a person.
Well,
A
I'm
person's
talking about the
point of view.
camera. The camera's point.
It
of
could be the gun's POV, like,
I'm gonna pee on your V in a minute.
I'm gonna fucking D in your B, huh?
Why does
No,
it always go to this?
I think that would be
Because we're
funny.
weird.
Why were we having? We were just having like a very
normal
intellectual
yeah.
conversation.
Then we go into
about
this.
the ethics of like AI and art and how it's going to affect the industry as a whole. And now we're talking about just fucking hurting each other, like performing sex acts on each other.
I
or
think
whatever.
we are just intellectuals who
All
have a
it
vast array of knowledge and are diverse.
No, that's it. All it took was 3 bugs. That's all it took.
Three bucks,
Three
yeah.
bucks.
3
That's
strikes
all
and
it
you're
took.
out. Chris lost all of his
Yeah.
intelligence, and we're all just like,
I was on the lookout when I went to go throw that stuff away and have a little piss. There's no other bugs. There's
were
no
all
other
I'm
just
sure
bugs.
we'll find another.
I think it's just because this is a strange area of the house and there's not a lot of airflow
Hmm.
and not a lot of foot traffic. So I think when things show up, they try to congregate in here.
Because they had a meeting. They had a
This is-
fucking meeting.
This is an old house, so you know it's not as secure as a new house would be. So like in terms of resistance to critters, so we get mice and things that come in. So I imagine they would want to congregate in a place where there's not a lot of people.
But just
Yeah.
enchant your armor for critter resistance, dude.
I would have to enchant the house's armor. I don't have enough levels for that.
Go get
bro.
that bane of arthropods on your sword.
I need the book, bro.
Fuck, dude. You'll have to go dungeon crawling for it. But, yeah. No, I think that actually would be funny, though. Shoot the camera.
Yeah.
We get a new one. But, Chris, anything you'd like to add about AI
But AI, not really.
on that same topic? No, I do think it could be cool, though, for games going forward.
Yeah.
I just feel like it'd be hard to implement in an effective way because like, you could totally put AI that's smart enough, but you still have to set limitations, right? Like if you're playing an RPG like Skyrim, when they release that for the 786th time,
Yeah.
and they add the AI update, you can't be like, hey, let me get my 12 gauge and have it go like, oh yeah, I'll get your shotgun, but it's Skyrim. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think it
you
would
gotta
have
set
to
those
be-
restrictions.
I think it would have to be like an open-ended type thing where you make your own story. There's a
Yeah.
lot of games like that already exist, like
Overgrowth does that on Steam. I played that game.
like that one game, Kenshi. It's like a top-down type game where you just exist in this world
And you just like do things.
and you interact with people, and based on who you interact with, you're not fed a story. you forge your own story, basically. So it would have to be a game like that, where it's like you kind of forge your own story.
But even still, there are limits to it. I don't know how you would truly make, like, I don't know if you can even make a limitless game where it's like you truly make your own story.
There's always going to be limits to everything, but
because you still need a map to play.
You have to be somewhere within the bounds of the world and the universe you're in.
Yeah.
So there would have to be measures for things like that, but it could just be something to the effect of like, the character just being like, I don't know what you're saying, or I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't have any knowledge of that. Really, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's enough though, because I feel like if it's not good enough, that's all you're gonna hear. You know?
Yeah, right. If you dumb it down too much, that's exactly what it would be. It's gonna be like, I don't understand that. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. And then you have to like enunciate it, and they're like, oh yeah.
And then you're just back to like, well, if I can't do anything,
give me a fucking menu.
If I can't do anything, just give me lines then. So it brings you right back.
You got
to
like
the
a 3-strike system. It can't understand you 3 times. It just goes, look at this fucking sheet. Pick one of these, bitch. Pick it.
It does the thing that those crosswalk buttons do. Where you push it and it goes, wait, wait. And if you push it too many times, it will go, wait. It will yell at you.
I actually meant to tell you, I saw a TikTok this morning where it said like it did that. They did it a bunch of times, and it went, wait to cross this avenue.
Was it the one that had like an attitude?
Yeah.
It's like, wait to cross this street.
Who programmed that? Like, like why?
It's like, I don't know, man. It's really funny, and I'm really glad they did that.
Yeah.
Just the idea of you hitting the button and it going, wait.
Yeah, like the fucking street light is mad at me.
Like, it's really fucking funny.
That's what we did
in
Maine the whole fucking time. We found one light that was like, wait. We just kept hitting it, and then we kept finding more.
There was a bunch of lights throughout that city that was like, we would just push the button, and we would just, every time there's a gesture you have to do. You hit the button, you go, wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
I have a video on my phone somewhere of me and Chris walking walking to the hotel from the bar, and I hit a button, and it goes, I don't think it says anything. I hit the button, and I turned to Chris, he goes, wait.
wait.
And it's just us at like 10 o'clock at night leaving the bar.
Wait.
It's so funny.
Wait. That's why did they even put that feature in there?
Who knows?
Yeah. Like, did they think that people would just like hit the button and start running?
That's usually what I do.
Yeah.
I hit the button, you can't say I'm wrong.
I hit the button, I don't wait for anything to change, I just sprint.
I hit the button and then it does nothing anyway, so what does it matter?
That's true. Usually I think those buttons only exist so you have something to fidget with while you wait.
I've heard that they don't actually tie in, it's all timed, and you're just hitting it.
Especially in highly foot trafficked areas, they're all timed because they will always change to give a pedestrian right of way. In some sense, it'll rotate with the light, but there's certain there's a specific intersection right near my house that you have to push the button, because what it does is there's traffic going 2 ways, obviously, like an intersection, and it will stop traffic on all 4 of the intersection ways.
Boy, which it would never normally do. So that one actually does something. Yeah, there's some like that, and then a lot of them are just, they're just timed, and you're just hitting it, and it's just like, oh, no, I hit something. You keep hitting the button.
Yeah.
Keep hitting the button, you pretty button.
And you just push this button, and it works. It gives you something to do.
Yeah, it makes you feel powerful. It's like elevator buttons, too. I've heard a lot that the closed door button doesn't actually do anything. It's just there for you to be like, oh, I gotta close the door. And then it would close anyway. So,
yeah.
So, fidget galore, but, fucking wait, dude. I saw that TikTok, and I haven't seen one of those since Maine, and I was just like, I looked at it, and I had like PTSD flashbacks to that Maine trip. I was like, man, that was such a good time.
Yeah,
that was a great fucking time. Just wait, just 2 fucking jumotes at like 10:30 in the morning, and then shortly after that incident, there was like a crowd of 7 girls behind us that like booked it past us. Remember that?
Yeah, because they were there. We didn't see them, and I was just doing this. Jordan was filming me, going, wait, and then the light turned, and then just this group of people walked past us. I went, oh my god, we look like fucking idiots.
Yeah, and then we walked behind them for a long time, and they were like talking mad shit about someone. I forget what. It's all gonna probably end up being in the main video when it's done in 6 to 74 business years.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be in that video somewhere, I bet. But that was funny. What a grand old time.
Yeah, we should do more adventures.
I was talking to Letsy about that this morning. I was like, I wanna go somewhere. I wanna plan something.
We should go to somewhere just horrible, We need to go to like
Flint,
Gary,
Michigan.
Indiana.
Yeah, we need to go to Gary, Indiana. No, we need to go to
I don't want to
like
get shot. No damn.
we need to go to like the upper like northern parts of Alaska where it's like negative 40 degrees outside.
You want us to die, Chris? Because that's
no,
what's going to
that's
happen.
not what I said. I don't recall
That's
saying
what's
that at
going to
all.
happen.
I think we should just go up there and just see what it's like.
Man, it's fucking cold and the video ends.
Yeah. That would
All
be,
that money spent.
that'd be
It's
really
cold.
funny. It's like, man, I wish it was colder and we fly to Alaska and it's just us going to Alaska and there's a static shot of Alex going, yeah, it's fucking cold, and the video just ends.
Yeah.
No outro, nothing.
We
Yeah.
pay a charter to Antarctica.
I think I know.
Well, all things considered, a charter to Antarctica isn't as expensive as I thought it would be. You can go on a cruise to Antarctica. Like, you go there and you hang out in Antarctica for like a day and then you leave.
Yeah.
And it's all in all, it's like 3 fucking weeks. And it's like 12 grand, which 12 grand's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But for 3 weeks of vacation,
Yeah.
not a lot of money.
Yeah. Luxury
Especially on a
vacation.
cruise. I don't know if it's exactly you're going to be living in luxury, but it will be a cruise where you hang out.
So you'll certainly be on a boat.
You will certainly be on a boat. I agree. We should charter our own boat to Antarctica. We should just go there.
We're going to die doing that as well.
It's just us rolling up like, man, it's fucking cold. Turn around, Chris. Let me just
Yeah.
turn around and go home.
We're gonna finally prove all the weird flat Earth people wrong. I'm gonna say we went here independently. There's no ice wall.
Yeah.
And
And
then
here's proof, and pulls a penguin out of his ass.
here's proof that I stole a penguin from the aquarium.
He has like a fucking aquarium tag on him.
I
Like,
just have him by the head.
See, look at this. Throws a lifeless penguin on the table. There's your proof.
Here's your proof.
we each
Well,
brought
it doesn't prove anything except you have a penguin on you. He pulled it out of his inventory.
we each bring something. I pull out a fucking polar bear, just fucking
Yeah.
slam it on the
Chris throws some ice cubes on the table.
Ice
Yeah. Those are from
They're
Antarctica.
very clearly like from a mold,
Yeah.
like a ice tray.
Fuck, man, that would be so funny. I do know what I want to do next, though. I think our next trip, what we should do. I'm not gonna spoil it, but you'll know what I mean when I say we should get lunch. That's what I think we should do.
Oh, that idea?
I think that's our.
That's
next
also
one.
not cheap.
It's not that
It's
expensive.
not that
though.
expensive. It's fucking ridiculous.
It's ridiculous,
Yeah.
and it's a
But
time
it's-
sink,
yeah.
but it's a good because we talked about it,
It
being
would
two
be
things.
so fucking
there's the
funny.
joke.
Yeah.
There's the joke, which is a short little sandwich
Yeah.
of a thing, and then there's going to be an overarching
video,
thing because
yeah.
we're not going to do that for that and leave.
It would be so fucking funny. We came up with this idea. I don't want to talk about it, but
Don't-
it
yeah,
was
don't
like
spoil it.
it was something that is definitely going to be really funny or only funny to like me and Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do want to do it. It is absolutely one of the funniest things I can think of that any idea we've ever came up with. But it might just be to us.
I think it's a
don't
time
know.
sync thing. Is the
It's a time
biggest
sync.
issue.
It's another like time sync. Yeah,
But
just
I
like
do
the
want to
main
do
Monterey thing.
more like adventures. I think we should invest several $1 million into having like our own adventure show. We do like a new Grand Tour type thing where they have like season 4 and 5, where it's just they go do something
Yeah.
for the whole episode and it's like 2 hours long.
Yeah.
We should just do that.
I'll see if the bank can give me like $1 million loan.
Yeah, I'll
We can
go
each
ask.
take out $1 million loan. Yeah, we'll have $3 million to
And we'll
invest.
just we'll funnel that into like a production company.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you
So-
go. But no, that video, I think that's like the next thing.
Can't wait to see how that one goes wrong if we do
No,
it.
that one's gonna be expertly planned. All right, we're getting better.
Yeah.
A lot better.
Yeah.
We already had our discussions. Me and Chris fucking, what's the word I'm looking for? We reprimanded each other about our Christmas video. Chris told me what I sucked at. I told him what you sucked at. You weren't even there, but you sucked.
Yeah. No, it's something that, we could transition to talking shop a bit here.
Yeah.
It's something that you kind of have to cognitively improve, just over time. It just is a thing that just takes time.
Yeah.
Is-
With practice comes perfection.
We're going to be going over, Jordan and I are going to be going over the video and, like, noting things that we can do better.
What we
how
liked,
can-
what we didn't like,
Yeah,
what we think
exactly.
stuck, what didn't stick.
Because
Flow.
there's definitely a lot of things that happened with that video that I didn't like how it turned out, where it was way too long.
way too static. The camera angle.
Way too long, but the pacing, I will say, the pacing was a lot better than stuff I had made in the past.
Yeah, 100%.
And the cuts were a lot cleaner. Where instead of leaving like a little bit of silence, I would cut right to the frame.
Yeah.
And just that like speeds up the video a lot. There was some weird shit that happened with like Premiere. I was like, oh shit, I could do this in a multicam sequence on Premiere. It's gonna be so fucking
You mentioned
easy.
that, yeah.
And for some unknown reason, working with audio in a multicam sequence fucking sucks.
Yeah.
It is so comedically bad, and to the point where I was trying to do like L cuts and J cuts. So like on a timeline, basically, you have your audio and video track, and you have your cut here. And to make it more smooth, what you do is you take your next clip, audio and video, and layer it a few frames in. This is an interesting gesture here, but you layer it kind of like that. You get a couple
Overlap.
frames in, so there's overlap, and it's a much smoother thing.
There's no silence.
But for some reason, Premiere in a multicam sequence, if you move the audio to any other track, it disappears.
Oh.
Like the track is there, but it is completely silent. And no matter what I punched into Google to figure this out, no one had an answer for me.
Nice.
What the fuck?
Adobe software this is the thing I was talking about with like there's no good holistic solution for anything I want to do ever.
Yeah.
Like I gave this comparison with operating systems. It's like Windows is like compatibility, Linux is like you can do more with it, but there's no like perfect middle ground between the both. And this is what I've noticed with all softwares. Like, Resolve is great. It's free. There's a lot of stuff you can do with it, but it's not to the level of, like, Premiere. Premiere, you have to pay for it, but it's like, there's a lot more stuff you can do with it. It's a lot more advanced.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's backed by Adobe. But also, Adobe fucking sucks at everything.
Adobe blows.
There's so many weird little quirks and issues with Adobe software that should not exist.
Yeah.
So I don't understand it.
Yeah, I agree. I have issues like that with Photoshop sometimes too, and it's just ass. But no, for sure. There's definitely a lot to take from that video, and I also think too, like maybe we should go back and watch some of the other stuff, even the old shit, like the headlight video and stuff. There's a lot of good stuff in that. And there's a lot of bad stuff too. I like the one video. I think it's the headlight ones with the chapters. That was funny. That was a pretty good video.
Yeah, it was decently interesting. Like, breaking things up into sequences, I think, helps with, like, oh, this is what we're going to do for the next 5 minutes, and then we're going to transition into something else with, like, a title card.
Yeah, and if we can better prepare for that stuff, like if we know going into something like, hey, we're going to segment this into chapters, it'd be better.
I think it comes down to planning. I feel like we plan a lot of things conceptually, but
not practically.
The moment to moment, we don't plan for it all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Same thing happened with Monterey. Like you'll see in the finished product that it should be a lot better, but than anything else we've done, I think. But there's a lot of that. We had a lot of bullet points of like, here's a bit, but like, okay, we don't even know what the location looks like. How are we gonna pull this bit off? Like there was one bit we had to cut because we're like, where the fuck are we gonna do this?
Yeah.
But we didn't like investigate the land to see what was feasible and what wasn't prior to going. So.
Yeah. It's something that like we just have to get better at preparing like the moment to moment stuff. Cause in terms of like equipment, our equipment sucks, but it's like, as good as it can be without spending a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Like an absurd
It is
amount of money.
certainly passable for two fucking idiots who wouldn't even know how to use the good shit if we had the good shit.
Yeah. So like, it's things that I have to learn as well. And like, we have to learn not just as like, from the back end production side, but from the like front end presentation side.
Yeah.
That it's something we just need to, like I said, it just takes time.
Yeah.
Like we can be really interesting, but I think we're so used to riffing back and forth that we delve into that and it doesn't advance a video at all.
Yeah.
And it's, we're getting better with that on the podcast because that's what the podcast was. And, that's what the podcast is. And we're getting better with that where, one of us will try to reel it back. We'll say like, hey, we are straying here.
Yeah. And it goes both ways too. Chris will do it to me, I'll do it to him. Yeah.
You know, let's get back on topic. Let's not stray too much.
Yeah.
So it's a learning process.
Yeah, and give us fucking feedback, please, because I think that whole thing with the podcast came from us kind of realizing, but also some of our coworkers being like, "Hey,
what the fuck were you talking about?
What the fuck are you talking about here? Because you hit like 34 different bullet points in a fraction of a second, and no one knows what's going on."
Yeah.
And then that's when we kind of both were like, I was kind of thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's been better.
And, we try to improve. And I think part of improving, like I said, with watching the video back and, like, noting what we did, rather than just kind of keeping it in our head, if we actually, like, critically analyze this. And,
and shit on ourselves somewhat.
Yeah, we have to have, like, a very, big set of points of, like, these are things we need to address. Yeah. And this is how we plan to do it.
Yeah, and it has to be critical, too, because it's tough. Because, like, on one hand, I want to shit on us and be like, this sucked, that sucked, this sucked. But also, Chris put a lot of work into the video, so I also don't want to be like, this sucks and that sucks and you suck and you all suck.
That's the thing. I'm not going to get, like, butthurt about
it. He just punches me square in the mouth.
Like,
as soon as
if something sucks, something sucks.
Yeah.
I heard this somewhere once. I forget where I heard it. Probably some random fucking YouTube video I watched at one point. Shit is shit no matter how long it takes you to shit. So if it's bad, just because I spent a long time on it.
Making shit.
It's still bad, even though I spent a lot of time on it.
True. It's a good point. So, yeah, we'll reassess. We got this.
But. So it's part of that as well in terms of general people being creators in general is like, you can't get butthurt about shit like that when people are like, this is what you could have done better, or like, this is what didn't work about the video. And I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, so you hate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, I dislike these things.
Yeah.
I dislike these things, and they take it as a personal attack.
Yeah.
And I I'm not like that. It's like, if it sucked, it sucked.
Yeah. Yeah, right. No, I think us reassessing would be a good thing, And the one I mentioned about making lunch, that video, I want that to be like our next grandiose sort of thing. Or maybe not next, but like, that's one we need to execute at 110%, in my opinion.
Yeah, we need more practice before that.
So that's why I strayed away from
that
next.
one.
That is going to be akin to Monterey, but like, I want to do it better. Like, way better.
Yeah.
Or it's more akin to Maine.
Yeah.
The main video,
so
which
we want to do more adventure stuff and we want to get better. But I think I think the biggest thing for adventure type videos we need to get over is just our fear of filming things in public. Because we filmed like one bit in public, and it was like we were the fucking CIA. We had like mics and it was like all obscured by our clothes. I had my phone trying to film and it was like I was like this.
It was like I had put your phone on a sill in the window, just kind of angled towards us. Like, maybe they won't find this suspicious, but that made it way more suspicious. Yeah, because you would never do this with your phone, ever. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like I hold it very low.
Yeah.
Because it's. It's weird to film stuff in public.
Yeah.
Part of it for me, this is going to sound really weird, but part of it for me isn't even like the filming in public. It's two dudes filming each other in public. That throws me off like a lot.
I feel like it is less egregious than like a lot of the other stuff we've done.
I don't think that's...
I don't know. Something about just me and Chris, like where we were.
The issue that I have is...
strange.
The big issue I have is there's this whole category of human on the planet. It's like the influencer.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these wannabe influencers, they get like, 10, 20K followers or whatever on TikTok or Instagram, what have you. And they think they're the world, they think they're the shit. And they film stuff in public and actively get upset with people for not playing along with their video.
Mm-hmm. When the person's just going
when
about
it's
their
just
day.
someone trying to exist.
Yeah.
And I also think about, what if I was one of those people? Like, what if I was one of those people just trying to go about my day and now I'm on fucking camera for no reason?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's my thing about it. It's like, I don't want to film people. That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
So I think part of it is just trying to like exile the people from my mind, saying like, no one's paying attention to these people. They just happen to be there.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people, there's a guy on TikTok who does kind of like a motivational video where he goes, this is why you should be yourself. And he goes to like a mall and he just does random shit. Nothing like heinous or anything, just random shit. Like he'll walk up to a random person, how's your food? And then walk away. And he's like, they're not going to remember that. They're going to forget. They're not going to care. Or he'll go on an escalator and he'll just be dancing. And literally people are coming up the escalator and they're not even looking at him. They're looking at their phone. And he's like, this is why you just do your own thing in public. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And that's part of it.
That's something we're going to have to, like, work on, too.
Yeah.
That's our biggest impedance to, like, you know, some of the bigger adventure type stuff. Other than, obviously, the financial impedance is, like, the financial and time impedance is, like,
the biggest.
Well, you know, it's going to cost a lot of fucking money to do, which we don't have. And it's going to take a lot of fucking time, which we don't have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, when we actually do it, we have, you know, this, we don't want to film in public type thing. And that's a little, we need a better, like, setup for filming stuff in public, too. Because having, like, these lav mics and this whole setup, it's too complicated.
Yeah.
Eventually I'm going to be getting a better camera and they'll probably have like a shotgun mic and stuff so we can, it'll be a lot better.
Yeah. So the other part of it too is we always get afraid of like, on that same note of like, someone's going to like come up to us and be like, hey, what the fuck you doing? But like, that shit only happens if you're a dick. If we're just like, oh yeah, sorry, like we'll put it away. Like that's it. Like that's where it ends, you know?
Like if you're not an asshole, most of the time it's fine.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so we should get over that fear, and then brainstorming ideas, better, you know, execution and getting over the fear. I think we have a recipe. We have a recipe we can start to work on.
I think we should go to space. I think that should be our.
I think that
might be a little out of the budget.
Nah,
we'll get a bunch of rocket engines, like hobby rocket engines.
We'll use
tie
like
the cobalt.
Yeah, we'll use zip ties. We'll tie you to the side of the rocket.
There you go, and then I'll hold your guys' hands. We'll pull you up with me.
We'll get a big rocket.
We'll get ratchet straps. We'll just strap Jordan to the side of this.
Like, all right, guys, let's do it.
We played Kerbal Space Program in real life, and it's Jordan strapped to this rocket and gets sent into orbit and fucking dies.
Yeah. It just blows up on the launch
and
pad.
It tips
over.
There's
a shot afterwards, after the launch happens, and Jordan's like, bye, guys, and he's going up in the air, and it's just me and Alex look at each other and go, we didn't put a parachute on that, did we?
Oh, he's fucking dead.
Oh, he's going to die. We forget to put the parachute on, and he lands and turns into jam. He turns into fucking jelly.
He's got an oxygen mask on, like one of the old home oxygen masks.
He's got like
You'll be good, Jordan. You'll be good.
A little tiny oxygen tank on his hip, and he's got a tube.
Yeah. Or the little nose thing.
Yeah, the thing they give you at like the hospital.
Yeah.
He's got one of those.
Oh my god.
But one of those little tiny oxygen tanks that you get at like the store for like oxyacetylene.
Yeah.
He's got one of those.
Fuck.
And we'll use that and we'll send you into space.
I'm honestly down.
All right.
I'm honestly down, but I think that's all I got. I gotta piss really bad.
Yo, we should film that. That should be on the podcast.
I don't think that'd be very interesting.
Yeah, I wouldn't be interested in that at all. I feel like we haven't hit up in this episode yet. So.
I don't think we have. This has been a very serious episode. There was a parabola. There was like super serious talking about AI. Then we made it heinous when you left, and then Chris came back and had to be like the dad and be like, "What the fuck are we doing here?"
Yeah.
And then we're right back to like seriousness. Very serious episode. This one. Last one was a very technical episode. This is a very serious one.
What kind of technicians? What kind of academics? We're scholarly.
Yeah.
We're philosophers.
I'm a fucking philosopher. What can I'm like Socrates.
You can suck on these.
I was gonna. God damn it! You ruined it. I was gonna hit him with the voice note. I was suck on these.
And you should have been quicker.
That's what Letsy tells me, man. Damn. Just kidding. She says go longer, and I'm just like, fuck.
Are we done here?
I think we are.
I think it's time to end it.
Schweeps. How was it the Schweppes?
You've already asked me this. I told you. It tasted like fucking ginger ale. It tasted like ginger ale. What do you want?
To do the fucking outro. I just want him to do the outro.
Chris, do you know where you can find us? Do you have any idea?
No, I don't. Please tell me, Jordan.
Would you like me to enlighten you? Yeah?
Yeah, I want to know.
You know, Jordan, no, I don't want you to enlighten us. Don't tell us.
I gotta hit you pretty hard there. I'm sorry. I fucking I really wound up on that. I apologize.
I thought it was a bug. So, you can find us on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Breaker, Radio Public, Spotify, Pocket Cast, and the RSS feed all linked below. There's also YouTube with the video platform. There's also a video on Spotify. And you can contact us via email, synapsemisfire@pm.me. Send us your comments, questions, concerns, and death threats. YouTube comment section, Instagram, and TikTok. Look out on Ticker Talker for our Christmas highlights.
Don't fucking say that. That's not an acceptable term anymore, Jordan.